Hey YouTube, Timothy Unkert here. In this video, I want to talk about command line arguments in the Dart programming language. So there's a way we can simply take in command line arguments when we create our main function. So we're going to type void main, and then inside of the parentheses, we're going to do list, and then we'll have a list of string, and we'll have the arguments come in. Okay, and those are going to come in as a list or array in other languages. So let's say we wanted to pass in two integers for our program and then do some calculations. Well, we can do that. We can say int num1 equals int.parse, because these are coming in as strings, and then we'll say arguments, and we'll take in the first argument, which is index 0. Now in some programming languages, the actual file that you're running is the first argument, but in Dart, that'll be the first argument that you pass in. So we're going to do int num1, int num2 equals int.parse, and we'll do arguments, hopefully I can spell this right, arguments at index 1. Okay, and now let's do some calculations. So let's print, and we'll do some string interpolation. We'll do num1 plus num2 equals, and we'll do some curly braces here so we can add these two together, num1 plus num2. Okay, and we'll print, we'll do some subtraction, so num1 minus num2 equals, let's do, well, num1 minus num2. Okay, and let me, let's go here, and let me just duplicate this line. Okay, there we go. And we'll do some multiplication here. I'm going to do the X for the multiplication symbol, even though it's the asterisk here. And we'll do some division here, and we'll just do the division here. Okay, let's save this and now bring up our terminal. And we can run this, I think I called this command line arguments.dart. And we want to pass in two arguments. So I'm going to do a space here. Let's pass in 10 and 3. Okay, and then you'll see our program runs those two arguments. Pretty cool. If we want to do it with the different arguments, we could do 9 and 3, say, and we'd get some different results. And let's do it one more time. Let's do 28 and let's see. Let's do 28 and 5. Okay, and we get some different results there. Pretty cool. All right, so that's passing in command line arguments. But let's say that we went to pass those in, but we didn't actually add them. So what's going to happen? Well, we have an unhandled exception. We have a range error. Okay, so basically what happened is, we didn't have those arguments, so we were out of the range when we said arguments 0 and arguments 1. We didn't have those, okay? All right, so what we need to do is we need to handle that exception. Okay, so we can do that. We can do a try here, and we're going to surround this code. And then we'll say something like on the error was a range error. So on the range error, we want to do something like, we want to print, you fool, you must enter command line arguments. Let's tell them 2 command line arguments. Okay, and let's save it. And let me go here and just go up and move this over and move this over. There we go. Okay, clean up our code a little bit, and let's go here, and now let's run it. And it says, you fool, you must enter 2 command line arguments. So let's try that again. This time we'll do 10. Let's do something different. Let's do 10 or 20 and 6. Okay, and we run these and we get a proper result. Again, if we take off one of these command line arguments and just pass in 2, it's going to say, you fool, you must enter 2 command line arguments. So with this, we can build a calculator that runs on the command line. what we can do is maybe we'll change this so we can say you must enter, let's do 3 command line arguments, okay? So let's have a third one. Let's say string operation, let's call it operation, equals, what we'll say is arguments at index 2. That'll be our third command line argument. And let me get rid of this stuff. And what we're going to do is we're going to make some conditionals here. So we're going to make a program. All right, so we'll say if operation double equals the plus sign, well, we're going to do something. We are going to return, not return, we are going to print, then we'll print num1 plus num2 equals, and then we'll do the calculation here, num1 plus num2. Pretty cool. Okay, and let me just make this a slight bit smaller there so we can see everything. Okay. Okay, now we'll do an else if. We'll say operation double equals the negative sign, or the minus sign rather. Well, we're going to print out the subtraction. So we're going to say num1 minus num2 equals, and then we'll do in parentheses, num1 minus num2, okay? And we got to put semicolons at the end of each of these, so let's do that. Let's not forget those, okay? And let's do an else if. We'll do if the operation double equals the x sign for multiplication. Well, then what we'll do is we'll print, we'll say num1 times num2 equals, and we'll do num1 and then do an asterisk num2. So that's a multiplication. Okay, and then maybe we should do an else if, because we'll have an else, like, and say that operation doesn't make any sense. And we'll do a double equals, we'll do the slash, and what we'll say is we will print then num1 time num1 divided by num2 equals, and then we'll do num1 divided by num2, okay? All right, and then we'll have an else, and we'll just say the operation you entered doesn't make any sense. Okay, and let's save this, and now let's run it. Okay, and let's run this. We'll do Dart command line arguments, and we're going to have to pass in 3 arguments here. So we're going to have to do, let's do 10, 3, and a plus sign. Okay, and we got an issue. Okay, so I put a $sign in front here. So I want to get rid of that. Let's save that and let's rerun it. Let's clear this out. Let's rerun it, and yeah, we get 10 plus 3 is 13. Let's change this to a minus. We get 10 plus minus 3 equals 7. Let's change it. Oh, we did the same thing. What am I doing? I'm hitting the button too fast. Let's do an X. There we go. We get 10 times 3 equals 30. Let's do division. Okay, and then lastly, let's do something else like a D. See what happens. The operation you entered doesn't make any sense. If we run this and we don't put in 3 command line arguments, we get, you fool, you must enter 3 command line arguments. So that's using command line arguments with the Dart programming language. I hope you liked this video. If you did, could you please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.